Welcome back viewers. So in this particular video we are going to see Hershey and Chase experiment and Michelson-Stahl experiment. So first we are going to see Hershey and Chase experiment, and the experiment was done to investigate the material which is being inserted into bacteria through bacteriophage, either it is a protein or DNA. So this experiment was basically to know that the genetic material or the transfer material, either it is a protein or it is a DNA, using bacteriophage virus, the virus of bacteria. So the bacteriophage, when inserts its genetic material into the bacteria, the final results that were obtained were that the DNA is the genetic material. How? We are going to see through this diagram, and this diagram is made by me, so please read this diagram. Now in this particular experiment, the three steps were made. First is infection, second is blending, and third is centrifugation. Now the DNA of this bacteriophage was labeled with phosphorus, radioactive phosphorus, and protein coat of bacteriophage was labeled with sulfur, and then they were inserted into the E. coli. So what were observations made by Hershey and Chase, that when the protein code which is labeled with S35, during infection the same process was followed for both protein and DNA. The E. coli were injected with the bacteriophage, but in the case of protein there was sulfur, and in the case of DNA it was phosphorus, radioactive phosphorus and radioactive sulfur. Now in the case of blending, they observed that in case of protein, the sharing of injected cells, the protein coat, sharing of injected cells, the protein coat. So basically the protein coats was seen to be sliced off, and the hereditary material get entered into the cells without being affected. The hereditary material which was present within the bacteriophage, that was safely transferred into the cells, but the protein coat was sliced off or breaked off. The sharing off means breaking off. But in case of DNA, it was observed that radioactive phosphorus found inside the cell, it get easily passed into the cells. And the third phase, which is centrifugation, the protein coat was observed or detected in supernatant, whereas in case of centrifugation of phosphorus, the DNA material, it was observed that there were no phosphorus detected in supernatant. So it was clearly identified that the transfer material is the DNA. So here is the result, that bacteriophage reproduction takes place within E. coli. Therefore DNA is confirmed to be the genetic material of virus, as it was able to pass from virus to bacteria, not protein. Not protein because we can see that they got shared. So next, coming up to Michelson and Stahl experiment, and this experiment was very important experiment done to identify that how DNA replication takes place. So it was proved that semi-conservative mode of replication of DNA takes place in E. coli. First it was observed in E. coli, then plants and in animals as well. So basically what happens here, the parental double-stranded DNA, so this DS means double-stranded DNA. Okay, so it separates and used as two template, and complementary strands are synthesized, and the parental DNA is transferred semi-conservatively in each generation. So this particular statement you have to remember, that the parental double-stranded DNA separates and used as a template, and the complementary strands are synthesized for each template, and the parental DNA is now transferred as semi-conservatively in each generation. So in each generation how they are transferred, we will see in a while. And this E. coli is basically a single duplex of DNA. So what is the pattern of E. coli DNA? Is a single duplex of DNA. Now what happens in case of semi-conservative process? So this is again a very important slide. Now E. coli was cultured for many generations in a medium of N15, which is a heavy nitrogen, and the heavy nitrogen is having density of 1.72 gram per cubic centimeter. Now, this density was compared with the density gradient which is used in centrifugation, and that is cesium chloride, that is CaCl. And this DNA, the density of this gradient is, for 6 molar it is 1.7 gram per centimeter cube. So when it is heavy nitrogen, so its density will also increase, and the density is 1.72 gram per cubic centimeter. But for light DNA, we can see that its density is 1.72 gram per centimeter cube. That is, we termed as lesser density or light DNA. Now, what actually happens? The E. coli divides after 20 minutes. So basically the division period for E. coli is 20 minutes, and the generation formed after transferring into N14. So basically for many generations the E. coli were kept in N15 and later they were transferred to N14, and for 20 minutes the first division or the first generation formed after transferring into N14, it was observed that the hybrids are formed, and the hybrid were termed as intermediate density. Why intermediate density? Because the strands which were formed is of N15 and N14. So after 20 minutes, it was first observed that the parental strand were transferred into one strand is of heavy nitrogen DNA and one strand is of light DNA. Now after 40 minutes, when second generation was tried to form, it was observed that 4 DNAs are formed, and out of which 2 are of 14 nitrogen, which is having a light density, and 2 are hybrid, that is having intermediate density. Now the key point which is to remember here is that E. coli division is 20 minutes and number of copies formed in first generation is 2. So what we can see in the first generation, that the number of copies formed are 2 and they are of intermediate density, that is of hybrid DNA. Now after 40 minutes, what we had seen, that they were having 2 hybrids and 2 light DNA, which is increased by 2 to the power 2. That is, now in the second generation 4 strands are formed, okay, out of which 2 are hybrid and 2 are of light DNA or lighter density. Now further, as the generation will keep on increasing, the number will increase by 2 plus 1, that the increase by power 2 plus 1. So in the case of third generation, it will become 2 to the power 3 and so on as the generation will keep going. Now in each generation there will be 2 copies which will be of semi-conservative nature and other will be of light density. So this is again important to remember. So this key point is very important. Please note it down or save this. Now this is in the form of diagram, that N15 DNA were transferred to the N14, and after first generation, that is 20 minutes, it was observed that first generation are having intermediate DNA or hybrid DNA having intermediate density. So in case of first, we can see that heavy nitrogen DNA are present at the bottom of the density gradient. So basically within this test tube, the density gradient are present, which is cesium chloride. In the first generation, we can observe that the hybrid DNAs are formed, which is having one strand of 15 and one strand of 14. And in addition, we can observe that the two hybrid DNAs are formed, which is having intermediate density, and the other 2 are having light density, which are present at the surface of this, at the upper surface of the density gradient. So this is all from this video. I hope you enjoyed this video and you are able to understand the experiments which were done to identify genetic material and to know that how DNA replications takes place. So this is all from this video. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel, and you can also follow me on my Instagram page, and you can get the PDF link from the description box for this particular